You are going to get a piece of paper like this that has been folded in half. Yours does not have the tape on it yet. It will have it on there soon. And then it has your name written on the top. We are going to learn how to do something really cool with your name, which is why I wrote your name on there for you to make sure it's spread out evenly across the top. It's going to be a little bit tricky. It's going to be a little bit tough. We're going to even have to use the rulers for this one, but I believe you guys can do it. Before we get started, though, we need to make sure we know what we're talking about when we're talking about art. And the main things you're going to hear from me a lot are these 7 words, the elements of art. Raise your hand if you've heard of these before. Cool. At least somebody has. All right. A lot of them are pretty basic. Like, raise your hand if you've heard the word line. We use lines all the time. Raise your hand if you heard the word shape. You hear that all the time. Today, we get to talk about line and shape because we're going to be turning our letters into block letters. Who has done block letters before? Oh, only a couple people. That's cool. So we're learning something new. So here's what we are doing. Here's an example. We're going to turn our letters into block letters. And then we're going to do this crazy effect called 1-point perspective. Can you guys say 1-point perspective?
1-point perspective.
So that 1-point perspective part is a little tricky. So we're going to do that next art class. So don't worry about that today. We're going to do the first step today, which is turn our letters into 3D block letters. Yes, ma'am.
I've done this.
Oh, cool. Someone's done this before. So the first step is to have your name written across the top of your paper. So in a second, I'm going to call a couple people to help me pass those out. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you the next step so that once you have your paper, you can go ahead and get started. So to start, and we're going to make a straight line. I think I actually tried this a new way that I think was easier. A straight line at the bottoms. You know what? Let's do that for all of them. We're going to make a straight line at the bottoms. And I will do this with you again if you have a hard time with this.
Try Alex.
So every time there's a flat bottom, I'm making a straight line. Do you guys see that? Okay. Then the S I skipped because it's not straight. Then on the sides, I'm going to make a straight line that connects. You see how I made this like L shape right here? Okay. So I'm going to do that on the sides of all of them. And I can do that on my H. So some letters are easier than others. And you will notice that on your name too. Then let's start doing the tricky stuff. Now, if you have an inside like this M, you're going to follow or mirror. Can you guys say mirror?
Mirror.
So you know how a mirror has a reflection? I'm following the same shape of my M underneath. And then I'm going to connect it. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and finish my M so you can see my M. I'm going on the other side. And then the top is just like the bottom. If it's touching the top, just make a straight line across the top like this. And then this part I can mirror as well. So I'm going to mirror this V shape. So here's why this is tricky for some people. You're not drawing what you think you should draw. You're drawing what you see. Say it with me. Draw what you see. You might think you're supposed to do an R a certain way, but forget about it. Draw what you see. I see a V shape right here underneath this part of my R. So I'm going to draw that. I see a straight line that comes up from the bottom. So I'm going to draw that. I see a curve that goes around the outside. So I'm going to draw that. Okay. All right, what do you guys see inside of my R? Like a backwards C? Kind of. Levi, what do you see?
I need the eraser.
Yeah, like a hole. So you could do what Xavier's saying and make like a backwards C shape, because I see that too. And then I see a straight line here. Or you could kind of just make it a circle, and that would work too. You could make it like a circle. Okay? All right, let's practice the S really quick, and then I will pass yours out, and I will walk around and help you with your letters. Okay, ready? I see a curve that goes around the outside of this S. I see a curve that goes around the other side of my S. And then guess what? I can just connect the edges. Connect. All right. All right. Before you guys go off on your own, the last step you guys are gonna see is that you can erase the inside of your M, erase the inside of your R, and then what you're left with is your block letters. If you are very confident, boys and girls, you can take your Sharpie and you can outline. You can outline your block letters if you are confident, but you might want to have me check first because I would love to come check and see what you did first before you do that. Okay? This is new for some people, so we're going to try our best. And if you make a mistake, what is it called, Palin? I love it. It's a happy mistake, so just go with it. It's okay. This is the first time we're doing something like this for some of you, okay? All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and pass out your folders with your name on it.
No, and it's actually bad for you.